Hi, I'm Mayce.
And I'm Missy.
We're best friends
and business partners. And each week, we're going to bring you a quote that inspires us, and we're going to talk about it.
Join us as we break down our favorite impactful messages for leadership and share how you can apply them to lead with confidence and purpose.
Get ready for a fun and authentic journey into leadership, life, and everything in between.
Well, hey, bestie.
Hey, bestie. Happy Podcast Tuesday.
Yes, happy Tuesday. Glad to be here. I know we're in the summer, but things are not slowing down around here, which is awesome. But as I just said that, I feel like summer breaks are really only for kids in elementary school. They're not for us adults.
Yeah, you're right. And those teachers, you know how I loved those summer breaks, but they go by fast.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. So let's introduce our guest. He's a real powerhouse. He does a lot of different things. So I know he is going to add so much value to you all today. So welcome, Matthew Efird.
Yay, Matthew. We're so glad you are here.
Truly my honor. Thank you, ladies, so much for having me.
Of course.
Yeah.
So Matthew, go ahead and share with our listeners what you would like them to know about you.
Yeah, so Matthew Efird, unapologetically a follower of Jesus Christ. I've got 3 businesses I run: an outdoor pest control company, an outdoor lighting company, an outdoor lighting franchise. And then I have a foundation that my wife and I started this year in honor of our son Noah, who passed away in 2020.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, we'll get more information about that at the end, Matthew, in case people want to follow your journey and understand what that is. So we thank you. I know when we had talked in the past, you had talked a lot about empathy and being an empathetic leader and how important that was. So the quote that we're going to share and dive a little bit deep today is this: before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. But when you become a leader, success is all about growing others. And that was said by Jack Welch. So Matthew, Missy, let's talk about it. We'll start with you, Matthew. When you hear this quote, what stands out to you? What comes to mind?
Yeah, it makes me think of the old proverb: if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together.
Yeah.
Right. As a leader, we get into, especially as an entrepreneur, we feel called into leadership, into building. Yeah. And it's about our ability, right? It's my ability to think creatively, to solve problems, to work through difficulties, headaches, challenges. But there's only so many hours during the day, right? And most every leader, most every business owner, small business owner, solopreneur, entrepreneur, they've worked an 80-hour week, 100-hour week maybe. And they're like, okay, I can do this for a period of time, but I can't do it for long.
Yeah.
And there is something to be said. One of the things when I coach teams, when I coach leaders, specifically business owners, I ask them, when's the last time you took a day off of your business? Like, when's the last time you actually completely unplugged?
Yes.
And Missy and Mayce, it's amazing how many rooms I get in where it's like, it's been a few years.
Yeah, never.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Unfortunately, I think we would probably put ourselves.
So then here's the thing that I have to respectfully tell them, right? You have a job, not a business. And that is okay. That is okay. If that's what you feel called to do, if you feel like this work I'm so passionate about, I could do this 7 days a week. I don't need time off. I want to do this. That's the mindset you need to have. But if you want to be a business owner, right, we're creating things that work when we're not there.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. So it's a different mindset. So what I had to teach myself, and a lot of this came, I mentioned it earlier, our second son, Noah, passed away in 2020. And so he was sick. We learned in September he was sick in utero. He was born March 7th. He passed March 9th. I took an extended period of time away from the business.
You had to.
I've had to, right? To be myself, to be with my wife, to be with our oldest son. But what it taught me, it was very humbling. It taught me that I was not the one that had to be there to make the business run.
That's right.
Right? So often we as leaders, we get the perspective that if I don't do it, nobody will.
Yep.
And I'm the only one that can do it well. And
right.
I'm the
or it
best,
won't be done my way.
or it won't
which
be
is
done
the
my
best
way. Exactly.
Right?
It's the best way. No, it has to be done this way. Mm-hmm. And what I learned in that season is I learned a lot of, okay, one, I'm not the smartest person in the room, but two, I've got really good people on my team. And lo and behold, they actually like to lead.
Yeah.
Right? Like the right people in the right places, they thrive.
Yes.
And what I'm learning now, I'm 10 years into my business ownership journey as an entrepreneur. I'm learning a decade in that I've challenged my board of advisors that once a quarter, I turn something else over to my team.
That's a great
what great
plan.
practice. Yeah.
Yes.
I delegate something else, right? And what I'm learning in that is the art of delegation is an intentional process. It's not dumping, right? Younger Matthew, I dumped really well, right? Like, hey, this is a problem I don't like to solve. You go solve it. You go figure it out.
Yeah.
Yes.
But what's amazing is that there are people that are designed and love to do certain types of work that I loathe.
Right.
Like,
I talk about that all the time.
All of my hair out. But I have people on my team that are like, no. I get so excited when I wake up in the morning and I get to come do this.
Yes.
I get to come do payroll. I get to come do bookkeeping. I get to do the marketing, whatever it may be. That, I think, is an art of a good leader, is you help define and you help dream for other people that are not in the place to dream for themselves.
So good.
You help pitch this vision to say, this is the direction we're going. I want you to be a part of this. It's old Jim Collins, you get the right people on the boat, put them in the right seats or the bus. Right people
we say
on the
bus, not boat.
It's the bus. Yeah, I'm sorry. I grew up on the lake. So right people on the bus and then get them in the right seats.
Yeah.
That is
so
an
good.
art.
Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. And it goes back, Macy and I always say everything goes back to connection. You got to know your people. You got to connect.
Amen. Oh, my word.
One thing I just wanted to comment real quick on something that you said, Matthew. I know that experience humbled you, right? Because you're like, oh, well, they could do it without me. I thought I was like the key and the glue and all of that. But I would also think that as a leader, it would make you proud that you led people well enough that they could do it without you.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point. And that's a thing that I need to get better of. And I appreciate you calling that out. I love to look at it's our success and it's my failure. Right? That's just the way I feel called as a leader, is to take ownership over when we win, when we succeed, it is our collective success.
Yeah. We were just talking about that.
Yeah, we were. I think on another episode, we had talked about like the leader should always take the blame, but never the credit.
Exactly. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, right, the buck stops with me.
Yeah,
that's right.
I'm the one that's responsible for the overall organization.
And you're signing the bucks, right?
I'm signing the checks. Right?
Yeah.
And
so go ahead.
I think that matters. That perspective matters.
Yeah, it does matter.
Because it's empowering to the team when they fail, because they will, right?
Yeah,
unless we're not growing. If we're stagnant, if we're simple, if we're doing the easy thing, it's really easy to not fail, number one. But number two, you're not going to be around for long, right?
Yeah.
We've got to be pushing the envelope of what we can do as a team, but also what the culture can survive, like what the community can survive. What can this business sustain? What can this market sustain? What can we do? Let's push into some of those things. When that happens, we're going to make mistakes. Giving the team the freedom to fail, but the old perspective, like we fail forward, right? Yeah. When we make mistakes, we learn from them and we move forward, right?
Yeah, keep going.
Okay. Keep going. Now you've learned that mistake. You're not going to make that mistake again. And now it's just it's an investment for me into their leadership ability and team of work that they can continue to grow and mature as individuals.
So good. Okay, so I'm going to bring it back to the quote for a sec, because I want to know, Matthew, was there a point in your career when leadership shifted from being about your own success to helping others succeed?
Yeah, it's a great point. I appreciate you bringing that back around. I know early on in our business, we had some pretty quick success, and we got some fun rewards, and I won some awards personally, and it was very encouraging, but it was really easy to fall into the trap of pride, right? Like, look how great I'm being.
Mm-hmm.
And then bring it back to my son, Noah, like when he got sick, it was an immediate humbling moment of, okay, I cannot do this. There's a very severe limit on my personal capabilities in this moment. And I need to shift my perspective around what does success look like. So I had to redefine that for myself. But then on our team, the perspective of, man, if our team is successful, aren't I being successful too? Sure. Right? Like that success doesn't happen in a vacuum.
Right.
It happens in the collective unity of a rising tide rises all ships. Sure. We say that all the time around our organization. Yeah. And getting that perspective of, I want you to be successful here. So one of the things that I do, like an analogy that I do is I used to be real close-handed, like really close-handed with my team. Mm-hmm. And I want to be like, no. I got to hold on to you for as long as I possibly can. I got to hold on tight. I've invested this money. I recruited you. I trained you. You're here. You know the system. You know the team. The team likes you. All these things. I've got to keep you. After Noah passed away, and in the years processing that, I became really open-handed with our people. Mm. And so when somebody comes onto our team, one of the last conversations they have is with me. And I tell them, look, you will be here for a season. That season may be a year. That season may be 10 years. That season may be you retire with us, which would be amazing. But at the end of the day, you're going to leave working here. You won't work here anymore. And so as your leader, my job is to make this a place that you want to work and that you also grow in. Because when you leave, I want you to be better for working here. And my job is to make you help grow and be better, and also to elongate that season for as long as it makes sense for you and the organization. That mental shift has been really powerful for me, because then I can look at other people's success in a new way.
Yeah, I mean, I love what you're saying, like, and it is so true. I don't think enough leaders pause to say, like, everyone is going to be here for a season. Yeah. That season can be a month, or it could be 25 years. Yeah. Like, who knows? But it is really only a season in time for people. Let me ask you this, Matthew. How do you help people see potential in themselves when they don't see it?
Yeah, what a great question. I love several things in getting to know my people. So I love getting to spend time with them. I have the opportunity to coach organizations around the country on empathetic leadership, right? And the impact it makes on our organizations. And one of the things I help coach them on is, are we doing things to get to know our people? Mm-hmm. Because what we miss so often in leadership is our people are, number one, they're people. And that means they have a life inside of work and outside of work. Yeah. We don't always like to admit that. We don't always like to acknowledge that.
I don't know why it's such a struggle for
people to
admit.
We see it all the time.
But it is.
Not just in companies that we work with, but I see people post a lot on LinkedIn, like, my boss didn't even say anything when my mother died, or this.
Right.
It's like, we have lives. Like, it's not just, we are people.
And so what I love to do is I love to get a room full of people to admit, like, hey, we're all going to be decent human beings. And we're gonna acknowledge that our people matter, just as people. Genuinely, they matter. But also, like, the most recent Gallup poll I saw is like 34% of an employee's salary when they're disengaged is the cost to the business. It's like, that gets expensive really quick.
Yeah, it does.
And there's a lot of other stats. Don't want to throw all those. The point being, what I'm looking to do is to be deeply engaged with my team. Mm-hmm. And then this is a skill set that I have. I have rose-colored glasses. I wear glasses, but I'm an internal optimist. I just, in my life, that's who I am. So I transfer that over into my leadership.
Yeah.
And I transfer that over into, you know what, I'm going to speak encouragement over you.
Love
even when you don't feel it, right? Yeah. The definition of me, and it may actually be the definition of encouragement, I'm thinking about it right now, probably should look it up. But the way I like to talk about encouragement is I'm infusing courage into you, right? I'm transferring courage that I have in my heart and in my soul and in who I am. I'm transferring it to you because I believe in you. And then from there, you know, one of our core values, right? The thing that we've done in our organization, define the mission, define the vision, where we're going, the mission, how we're getting there, and the core values, the thing that binds us together. For us, our number one core value is feedback, give and receive accountability. That matters a lot to our team.
Yeah.
And the way that we define accountability, because that's different for everybody, is I want to care enough to hold you close and call you higher. And so when somebody comes into our organization, they know that off the start, right? This is the first thing that we do. We hold each other close in a professional and respectful way.
Great practice. Practice.
We call you higher, knowing that you have potential inside of you. And I believe, unapologetically, good business can change the world.
Absolutely, yeah.
So love that. In this position that I'm in, I have the opportunity to help create goodness in the world, which is so fun.
So good.
And part of that is asking better questions. Part of that is getting to know your team. And then part of that is the art of delegation, right? Yeah. I'm going to walk alongside you to give you opportunities to lead, even when you're not really thinking you can.
So good. So many good practices that you have instituted within your teams and that you're sharing. So I'm going to flip the script on that and ask you then, what's the biggest mistake leaders make when trying to develop their team members? You've told us a lot of good stuff. What's a big mistake?
It might be hard for you, Matthew, with those rose-colored glasses.
We got rose-colored glasses. Everything's an opportunity to learn. No, I like to talk about my $1,000 mistake, and it's $1,000. It's not real expensive, but it's still $1,000. It's expensive. I had a new leader in an organization. And this is in the perspective of more dumping rather than delegating.
Okay.
We had a vehicle that one of our technicians was in, had some trouble. I was going out of town to a conference that I had extended with my family. I was going to be out of town for like 10 days. Long story short, I had a conversation with this new leader, and I assumed that my expectations were clear just because I'm great at assuming.
Yeah,
I assume my expectations are clear.
Yes.
And what I didn't do is I didn't take 30 seconds extra and make sure that the expectations were clear.
Right. That they understood what
they
think
understood.
They should have.
Right.
Yeah, of
what
course.
my expectations were. So I get back from the trip. I'm like, hey, I guess the van's being worked on because it's not at the office. That's a key point. And the following week, so we're about 2 weeks at this point of when the accident happened or when the vehicle issues happened. It wasn't an accident. When the vehicle issues happened to when I followed up with this person. Where is this vehicle? Where is it getting worked on? And the conversation was, oh, I thought you were doing that. I thought, well, that's going to be expensive. So the vehicle had gotten towed. It had been impounded. We had to pay to get it out. We had to pay to get towed. And it was right at $1,000. And one of the things that I learned in that moment is I have to slow down and make sure that I'm following up well with my team.
Yeah. We call that slowing down to go fast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I operate at a hum of a level of, I just want to keep moving forward. That's the way
many leaders do.
Many leaders do. And so I don't like to have to say the same thing twice. I just, if you tell me something once, I normally get it.
Yeah.
And I assume that of a lot of people, which you know what assuming does.
Yeah.
And so what it's taught me in my leadership is, you know what, I really need to have the decency of this person to honor them enough that they're trying to lead well.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I've clarified the direction that I'm asking them to lead
And I
into.
love that perspective, Matthew. Like you're making it about them, right?
Yeah.
Like you're making it about like if I want to honor them, they need the clarity from me to do their job well, instead of you saying, well, it's all about me and I was clear.
Exactly. It's a totally different way of looking at it.
Yeah. Let me ask you this,
perspective
Matthew.
matters.
Yeah, because I know when we spoke originally, reflection's really important to you. Like the power of reflection is important. But why? Like, why do you think reflection is because it's important to us. We preach about
Yes, it is.
So why do you think it's so important? What's the value?
Yeah, so for me, it is, okay, every opportunity, we kind of mentioned earlier, like everything that we go through in life, our perspective, what we just said, perspective matters. I love the FedEx logo, right? If you don't know, there's an arrow in the FedEx logo. And once you see it, you'll see it forever. You can't unsee it. It's an amazing creation. I see that in our teams of like when we debrief things personally, when I go through journals, when I go through my time with my board of advisors and we debrief the last 90 days, we look forward to the next 90 days. In my marriage, my wife and I do this at least biannually, normally quarterly, where we look over the last 90 days, we look forward to the next 90 days. There's just a freedom. There's a freedom of, I make mistakes. That's okay. I've gotten to where I am and I've made a bunch of mistakes. So I'm not quite as fearful of making mistakes moving forward. So that there's a confidence that it puts in me. There's also a redemption, I believe, in these moments of frustration or tragedy or whatever it may be. And it's I'm going to take in those moments. I walk through seasons in my life that very few people have.
Yeah.
And so I have the opportunity to mine those seasons, and there's some serious gold there. And so instead of just saying I'm a victim, it happened, whatever the case may be, I can take the perspective of, okay, this is a tragedy this is a difficulty, where it may be, but I still have an opportunity to learn here.
Yes. And reflection allows that for you.
It does.
What Macy and I find in a lot of our teaching is there are excuses that leaders want to give that they just don't have time to reflect. So what would you say to leaders who are just
they're busy
and being busy, and they kind of lean on that and look over reflection and they're just moving forward?
Yeah, I would say a few things. You're not as busy as you think. That there was a long period in my entrepreneurship journey where you would ask me how am I doing, I would say busy. And that's a state of mind, I believe, that I've changed the perspective of. I choose to invest my time in areas of my life, and instead of spending my time or wasting my time, no, I'm choosing to invest my time.
Yeah.
That matters to me. I would call into question, how well do you schedule? Are you the controller of your schedule, or something else controlling you, right? And then I just personally in my life, I have seen, I don't think you can't not do this. I know it's a double negative, but the perspective of like, I don't think you can afford to not have that perspective.
Yeah.
Agreed.
And it's interesting because when we train on reflection, because a lot of people don't even understand what reflection is, we train that reflection is something you have to do every single day.
Yeah.
Especially if you're in the middle of a project or, a system upgrade or whatever that looks like. And what we find is people are really good at reflecting at the end of something.
Yes.
Yeah,
right? Like I just finished this project. What went well, what didn't go well.
Let me think about it.
But now let me see for the next time. Whereas, my husband runs a nonprofit, Matthew, and they do a summer camp, and the first couple days was really, really clunky.
Okay.
And I said, it's only a week long, so every week it's kind of lather, rinse, repeat.
Sure.
And I always joke, like, because of what Missy and I do, our husbands are the beneficiary of great leadership advice, right?
Yes.
And I said to my husband, what I would suggest if you were one of my clients is every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every day I would get the team together for a 7-minute huddle.
Yeah.
What went well? What didn't go well? What do we need to change for tomorrow?
Right.
Because if you wait until Thursday, the last day of camp, that week with those campers, that's already gone.
Yeah.
Next
You've missed opportunity.
Missed it. You've forgotten it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's that don't wait until whatever you're going through is over to reflect. If you reflect every single day, you can make, Missy and I aren't sport girls, but I'm going to make a sporty analogy. You can make some halftime adjustments.
There you go. That's right.
The game, not the championship is over. So.
And the perspective I teach is about the corridor effect, right? And it's the perspective of I'm walking down this long hall towards a door at the end of the hall. And if I don't ever, number one, start walking towards that door, I can't see that along the way, there are other halls off of that, right? That I have the opportunity to make pivots and to make changes and to see additional opportunities. That goes with our team in these daily huddles, right? When we bring a new team member on, we're really important we do a morning huddle and an afternoon huddle of like, hey, here's what we're going to do today. And then at the end of the day, it's like, hey, here's what we did today.
Yes.
How did you feel?
Yeah.
What went well? What didn't go well?
Love it.
What do you like in the process? What do you not like in the process? What do I need to help clarify? Because then tomorrow morning, I'm going to come to this huddle and say, hey, yesterday you said this, and I was thinking about it last night, and I think I need to change the wording. And I think we're going to actually change the wording for all of our new hires. So thank you so much for giving me that. It's like immediate feedback, immediately pulling that person into the team of like, oh, wow, I can make an impact here.
Yeah. And if feedback is one of your values.
Structured. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's one of our values.
Well, this has been awesome. I think it's a great transition into our big takeaway for the week. So listeners, if you only take one thing away from this week's episode, let it be this. Great leaders shift their focus. The transition from contributor to leader happens when you stop measuring success solely by your own accomplishments and start measuring success by the growth of the people around you. The leaders that make the biggest impact are always the ones who intentionally develop others.
I couldn't agree with you more, Mayce. And also, reflection turns experience into growth. Like, I think that's a great takeaway. Because experience alone doesn't make us better. It's the reflection that does.
Yes.
And the leaders who continue to grow are the ones who regularly, on that morning and afternoon, day after day, they regularly pause and they evaluate what's working and they learn from what isn't. And then they use those lessons to lead more effectively tomorrow as they move forward.
Amen.
Well, I have loved this conversation. Matthew, thank you so much. If our listeners want to stay connected with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so you can follow me on LinkedIn, Matthew Efird. I'd love to connect on LinkedIn. You can also find us on our website is eventhough.we.will.com. You can find the book, you can find some training from some free resources there.
We're going to put all of that in the show notes. So this is a question, Matthew, that we ask all of our guests. So we're going to ask you as well. What is your favorite leadership quote?
Yeah, so I've got several. I'm an avid reader, but the one that always sticks out to me that I probably say the most is an old proverb. It's he who walks the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools suffers harm. So as leaders, man, it matters who we surround ourselves with.
It surely does.
It really matters.
It surely does.
So good. So good. And listeners, do you have a favorite leadership quote? Send it our way, and we may spotlight it on a future episode.
And we'll be back next week with another quote and more leadership insights. And you know what we're going to do?
I know. I bet our listeners know.
Yes. We're going to talk about it. Bye, Matthew.
Bye, bestie. So Thank much, you. Matthew. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye,
everybody.
Bestie.
Thank you for listening. If you're enjoying this show, please show us some love by clicking the 3 dots to download the podcast, leave us a 5-star rating on your podcast app, and talk about it with other leaders to help them find the show from any of the major podcast apps. We'd love for you to follow us on social media too. Mpactful with an M _ messages on Instagram and Mpactful Messages on LinkedIn.